What's up, everyone? So, since the market is looking a little bit soft, and I decided to take the time to reflect a little bit. I think we have done pretty well for this year so far, and I think a lot of people are starting to, PM me, email me on how to get started. They were, really dormant during the whole 2018, and the whole 2018 bear market, and it's completely understandable. But I want to kind of remind everyone the importance of why we are even part of this space. How Bitcoin actually impacted our lives and could potentially impact lives of millions going forward. So I had the opportunity to pick up the Bitcoin Billionaires book, which was about the Winklevoss twins and how they got started in Bitcoin and how they met Charlie Shrem, Roger Ver being involved, and basically the Winklevoss twins and Ver couldn't really see eye to eye, and Voorhees was obviously at the time supporting Charlie Shrem on the technical aspects when he started BitInstant. So the whole book was really really was just so exciting to read. It was just like the ups and downs in terms of the emotional roller coasters on how Charlie starting out from his basement, really building instant from nothing, and being one of the top service providers for folks to buy and sell Bitcoin. But he kind of forgot himself as he kind of became successful and famous, and eventually things kind of took a turn when he lost his license and Silk Road went down. You guys should really pick up the book and just really read it. I mean, I'm not an avid reader. I'm not someone who I love reading, but I'm a very slow reader. But when I picked up the book, it took me 2 days to finish the book. And it kind of reminded me of why I'm even part of this whole space. So maybe let me take you back a little bit to my early 20s, or at least my mid 20s, when I first started banking. I was always intrigued about the financial markets. I was always interested in how the world worked, or how people made money, how people became rich. It really kind of kickstarted my curiosity for finance. And when I stepped in, I realized that, although the whole economy functions in certain ways, and how investments are being made to kind of packaged and be delivered for folks to get involved, I realized there were also very little choices that were available. It may seem that there are a lot of investment choices out there, but in actual fact, there are really not many that are, viable. And we are all, having different risk profiles, different financial objectives. But as a banker, I was always put in a situation of having to deliver revenue for the bank every month, to every quarter. And if I didn't do it, I could potentially be, called back to work over the weekends, work late nights. And of course, eventually, if you really just don't comply, you could really lose your job. So at the time, after doing it for a good 6.5 years, I asked myself this question: do I really want to continue into, management or private banking? You mean I didn't have a choice? And at the time, obviously, I already had, my firstborn, and money is important. You know, money is very important, especially when you have a family. If you're living on your own and you don't have money, usually it's just basically poor money management, poor financial management, and bad financial decisions. But when you have a family, it becomes the backbone. Money becomes the backbone where you need to put food on the table so that your kid can go to school, your your healthcare is being taken care of, your home is being paid for, you have water to have a shower, to drink, you know all these things become necessities. And of course it's a very duh kind of thing. But when I came to that point in my life, right, I asked myself, I needed to think of a way to get out of this vicious cycle. And I clearly wasn't happy, guys. I clearly wasn't happy. Can you imagine being under that consistent monthly stress, right? Even if you did well the previous month, the clock, basically the clock just rewinds itself and you start back at zero the next month. And the whole cycle starts again, where you have to find new clients, contact old clients, whether they'd like to have their portfolio reviewed, or they didn't buy something last month, you want to get them on a new product. And that is the way it works. Anyone who even is from that sector will really know what I mean. And after a while, your clients will obviously give you the finger, or at least politely give you the finger, right? Because there's only so much money that they could have to be invested in the markets. So obviously you find new clients, and hopefully they are open to whatever you have to propose. And for me, I'm always the kind of guy that if the market situation isn't suitable for this particular client's risk profile, if this particular product is not suitable for this client's risk profile, you clearly don't do it, right? You clearly don't push it. But there are times when, hey Ryan, your numbers are a little bit low. You should know what to push, right? So I was like, sure, boss. I know what needs to be done, And we go out there and we have to say things that we shouldn't be saying. We do our best to kind of mince our words a little bit. We kind of like, yeah, maybe the risk is a little bit on the high side, but hey, so is the reward. And you kind of do a little bit of a verbal tango with your client. So it came to the point where I asked myself, you know what? I needed to challenge myself. I'm not happy. I don't want to be stuck here, because if the market continues to do well, sure, everybody makes money, everybody is happy, not an issue. But like I said, if the markets are not going to be favorable, and I continue to push and I continue to get my clients' funds stuck, it's going to be very difficult. There will be very few relationships left. And I wanted to leave, clean. I wanted to be happy. I wanted to leave with a good note with my existing clients. And that was my decision, and I tendered my resignation. So that was in my early 30s at that point. And, my wife, kind of said, hey, so what are you going to do, I didn't have a real answer. I didn't have a clear answer, because my whole life was revolving around helping other people make money to become rich. But I wasn't rich internally. I didn't feel happy. So I left. And I stumbled upon Bitcoin in 2016. So I was thinking, this Bitcoin is just unique. It gives you the choice. And I read the Satoshi white paper, and I was like, hey, this is all about choices at the end of the day. It's all about giving people the opportunity to function and manage their own money peer to peer. They can send, money, kind of pseudo-anonymously, right? Because at the end of the day, like 16 digits and alphanumeric, it's kind of hard to tell what the heck that address actually is, unless it's kind of earmarked. But you had the choice. You had the choice to use the existing banking system. If it works fine, it works fine, right? But if your government or your financial system was lacking, you could use Bitcoin. And you could do whatever you really wanted to do with it in all aspects, right? If you wanted to send money to buy something and that merchant clearly accepted Bitcoin, it's cool. There's no judgment. There's no surveillance. it's just basically 16 characters sending this amount, or you're receiving this amount from this 16 alphanumeric address. It's really that simple. And I was like, okay, I completely get it, but how do people actually make sure that the network works? And so there was this point that was stated that as long as there is a financial incentive, the network will run smoothly. And that's the belief. And I was like, okay, yeah, makes a lot of sense, right? We all work for money. Businesses, people, we all, governments even, we all work for money. We all do our job as long as there's a financial incentive. Very rarely do people have the heart to do things entirely for free, because we are all human beings. We all have liabilities, we have bills to pay, we have families to feed. And I was like, okay, so with this financial incentive, which is of course the miners, they are dedicating the hashing power to kind of support and validate the network, and at this validate the transactions, process the transactions, and make sure that those transactions are legit so that there's no double spending, and they create the new blocks to continue the blockchain. So that was the point where I realized, hey, you don't need a central entity. You don't need someone to really oversee this growth, this community, this network. As long as there's intrinsic value in doing so, that's all. Everyone will play ball, man. No one will try to, disrupt it. Yes, there were people who were trying to, hack the Bitcoin network, but clearly they failed. They couldn't. They just couldn't, because it was just too big. There were just too many, nodes, validators that were protecting it, and of course the code was always keeping itself secure. And it really made me think, that hey, perhaps being part of this crazy crypto space could be for me. Some guy who would have probably been in private banking or in management if he had continued. But now I have a choice. I have a choice whether I want to help someone, or I have a choice to not help someone. I'm not going to be pressured by a boss to tell me, should I be promoting this, or should I be pushing this out? No one's going to tell me to do anything. Because at the end of the day, it's my own integrity and how my community, judges me, or at least whatever opinions they have, they can clearly state that. But it becomes a free will in that sense, If I put something out there and someone doesn't like it, they can comment about it. Whether is it in my videos, or it's in my Discord group, my Protégé group, my clients can tell me off, because it's a two-way. It's a two-way. And at the same time, if companies, approach me for any kind of promotions or anything like that, if I don't feel that I don't want to take it, I don't want to take the job, or I feel that they are really scammy, or I just feel that they are just, not up to par for me to even talk about them, I don't do it. I have a choice, right? It is no longer that it's like a invisible gun behind invisible gun pointed to your head, that if you don't do it, this is what's gonna happen. There's sincerely no repercussions in this sense, It's the freedom to be able to make choices, and that's why I actually love this space so much. Why I feel Bitcoin and crypto really provides that accessibility and freedom. It's, yes, people are making money in the space. We are all here for a financial incentive, but there's a deeper meaning. You see, that level of inclusion, I've never seen this kind of inclusion for a very long time. You may say that the stock market kind of can produce that. That's when you're totally incorrect. Because in the stock market, especially when you're talking about the US stocks, not everyone has access to US stocks. You must be thinking, well, not everyone has access to certain exchanges either. Well, that's the exchanges. But theoretically, Bitcoin is a free money. It's a free money, guys. As long as there's someone who is trusted and reputable in your community that somehow has it, and you can trust that you can buy it from that person and of course sell it back to him, it works. You see? It works. That's how amazing it is. And there's no prejudice in a sense that you don't say that this person, since he's below 21, he's not savvy enough to manage his own money. If I was to, if Hannah, who is 6 years old at the moment, my daughter Hannah, who is 6 years old at the moment, she already uses money. She interacts with her canteen, her canteen auntie to buy food, and whether or not she's transacting honestly with the auntie, right? Obviously, a child wouldn't really know, right? If the drink is $1.20 and she gives $2 and there's no change back, she wouldn't really know because she's not really into that. But if there's integrity between her and the auntie who's selling her drinks, the auntie will return her 80 cents. You see? So this kind of, there is a certain level of trust that has to be built around this whole network, and that's kind of like how it works. Same thing, man. When my clients, they engage me for my services, okay, the vote of confidence is already there. That's why they're sending the Bitcoins or Ethereum to me. There's no other way that I could point a gun directly through the internet to make them do that. It is also your choice. So it's right now your choice on, do you have a deeper meaning on why you're here? Why you're even buying all these cryptocurrencies, or why are you even in Bitcoin? You have to ask yourself this. Because if you only believe that it's just purely for financial freedom or the transfer of wealth, honestly, it's not going to really last. It's really not going to last because it becomes just a very small spark in your life. To me, this whole space and the community that I've built is my family, it's my lifeblood, it's my passion that I pour day in, day out. That's why at 3:30 a.m. in Singapore, I'm still doing videos because I'm just passionate about the space. There are people who are equally as passionate to me, as passionate about the space like me. But there are very few who are as dedicated, who are doing it professionally. And I just wanted you to kind of know where I'm coming from, and hopefully that this video will also give you, that those thoughts and those insights. Like, how does this space really connect with you? And I wanted to just share this to let you guys know that if there is a way that we can really bring this to the next level, like for example, if you'd like to see more content like this video, let me know in the comments below. But this is just another side of why I'm even in the space. Obviously, my life will always be revolving around helping people learn how to make money in this space, educate them about financial diversification, how to achieve their financial goals, how to truly be financially free, all these things. This will always be my passion because this is what I was born and bred to do. I don't really know how to do other stuff, guys. I'm not an artist. I'm not a singer, even though I can kind of sing a few tunes in the bathroom. But at the end of the day, I'm here to serve a purpose. And because I was so good at what I did when I was in banking, I felt that I think the Bostons and the Bettys clearly needed my help more compared to the ones who were already at sea level making 6 figures to 7 figures a year. They don't really need my help. But the gratitude that I'm getting from you guys and the whole internet has kind of opened up this availability. I've never had more fun. And of course, I've never had more frustration as well, especially the trolls and the haters. It kind of gets to you sometimes, but overall, it's all fun because trolls and haters at the end of the day also push you forward. They help you think. Like, they are always the ones that are kind of the ones that will smash your vibe, you know what I mean? Or smash your groove or whatever they call it. But at the end of the day, I love everyone. Like, really, I've grown so much and I've really been able to kind of push myself because I have a community around. And you know what? Sometimes I get information from people who I don't know. And this is all helpful information. And I'm like, I could have never gotten these experiences from working in a bank. I really couldn't, because the environment is just different, guys. A corporate environment is just different. It's usually kind of selfish, people all putting on masks. You can't really always be yourself, because the moment you're really yourself, you kind of like you're being judged. Right now, I can say whatever I want, wear whatever I want, don't do my hair. No one's really gonna judge me. And you know what? I don't care either if they did, because it's my own thing. I'm doing my own groove. I'm making my own strides. And if that's something that, this space can do for you, you should step into it. You should really start doing something about it. If you're someone who can code, code for this space. Build something that we all can use. We all can benefit from it. If you're someone who is like a sales guy like me, then make sure you do the right thing and push the right stuff out there so that more people can hear about it. I don't know, Coinbase affiliate link, the Gemini affiliate. I don't know what you are going to be able to do. But if you have a certain skill set that is obviously going to benefit and help this space to grow, please join us. Please join this community. Not my community in general, but the crypto Bitcoin community. That's kind of like where I'm trying to get this and drive this message across. Anyway, that is all for the video. Thank you so much for watching, guys. And of course, have a great weekend and see you in the next live stream.